Hello guys. Let me join Zoom. I just had a little moment here because it looks like it was on YouTube and I had to put unlisted. Hopefully we got it right now. All right, let's open our Zoom class. And here we go. USA certification. Welcome. How are you guys doing? All right. Just do one thing here. Add. There you go. We're going live, both our groups and on our Zoom. So welcome. When you get here, say hello if you're live, or hello if you're watching the replay. Excited to be here with you. I see everyone is coming in live, and this time is for you. I want to invite you to take a moment, close your eyes, and set your intention for today's mentoring time. And also, I want to invite you to, when we get together, to make the commitment to reconnect, to recommit to your commitment with yourself, to study, to practice, to ask for help, and to continue practicing, exchanging sessions with your colleagues, and also looking at all the opportunities that come. Sometimes, asking, can anyone exchange a session with me? Those things are important, and in everything that is a gift inside this program. So we're going to start now, and you can just unmute yourself or ask the question on the chat, however it's better for you, and just let me know what model you are and what's coming up, and let's support each other. Who wants to start?
Well, I can start. I have just a short question. Hi, everyone. I just started Bronze Model 1 and went through all the instructions, the videos, and now getting to the point where I can do the body sessions. And in the printout, it says send the message to the client, but I thought I heard you say in the recording that we shouldn't give them the message.
So let me clarify. Client is your colleague that you give the session, right?
Exactly.
So, but when I say, so in the very first one, the goal and the intention here is to practice, receive without to judge. So you receive, you send the message, the person is not going to give you feedback.
Yes. Okay, so I do send the message.
You do send the message, just you're not waiting for feedback, approval, none of that. You send the message. And the person is not supposed to send any answer to you. Just say thank you.
Okay, perfect. Good.
Because what at this point, what you need to build is confidence. Right? And that's the intention of this exercise. Then in the following week, when you do practitioner 2, you're getting on the phone or on Zoom, whatever is easier for you, and you are going back and forth, and that's okay. But it's just that very first session, let me make sure I turn my phone off. In that very first session, we are like just sending without the need to receive feedback. And throughout the program, throughout the exchanges, you're going to be building that. And but then then it's easier than the very first session.
Perfect. That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great question. It's like the pressure because it's the first session. You gotta take that out and just set the intention to be a channel from the beginning because that's all it is, right? And in the future is there are not only one future. The future are probabilities. Yet in the session, you're going to help the person to come back to alignment, to their power, to create the reality that they wanted to create from power and purpose and not from fear. Who wants to be next?
Hi, it's Claudia. I have no questions, just chiming in saying I'm very much enjoying.
Oh, so good, so good. Which model are you?
Yeah. Soul connection.
Nice, very nice. Very cool.
Having fun.
Fun is good. Awesome, awesome. And are you guys able to find time to exchange with each other? Everybody, you guys?
Yeah.
And
I'm actually exchanging more than the required.
Awesome.
Just to do more practice. And, you think you've gotten all the information from somebody about your business or about you and your next steps. And then someone else says something else, so I just want to be more clear and clear channel. So it's practice, practice, practice.
Oh, lovely. Very nice. And thank you for that. And you remind me of something that I believe would be a great, if you guys heard that before, always good to reinforcement. But the beauty of both energetic healing and the Akashic readings is that you may have, like, let's say, like the same session, for example, when you go to prosperity transformation, session one, there are particular things to do. And you may have different practitioners reading your records, and they may come from a completely different angle. Yet, that is the beauty of it is that each person, like right now, everyone is in a training. So, and that is a core energy that brings the group together. Yet within that connection between every single one of you, that is each one come from a different walk of life. And so that is the part of life experience that was also going to translate in your sessions. So one person may see one thing from one angle because that person that's how that person see the world, but other person comes from another angle. So even though the messages could be different, it's just is the same message but spoke through a different way to see the situation. And so it's beautiful to be on the group because you get the different ways to see things, and that's how we grow, because as you get different perspectives, you are also anchoring that wisdom and that perspective for you when you're giving sessions to people that have different walks of life. So I just kind of want to speak to that. The more sessions you exchange, the better practitioner you're going to be, of course, right? And more confident each session. Yes.
Quick thing. Wendy just texted me. She doesn't have the link, which I'm going to send to her, but she said she's on Facebook and it says that you're live, but she only sees the picture and you're not animated and she can't hear anything.
And Julie's asking, so let me put, well, that's weird. I wonder, because that was weird today. I saw someone sending a message in Portuguese, and I'm like, well, how come there's a message in Portuguese? Because this group is not in Portuguese. Then make sure I'm in the right group. 2021. So
she says she just got it, so she's able to get in, but I don't know if you need to check the Facebook Live.
Yeah, let me go quickly there. Akashic Institute certification group, Akashic Records Institute certification. That's the right group. Should be going live. This is live now. Yes, it is. So it may be that needed to refresh.
She says she just got it, so she's able to get it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And let me put the link to the Zoom, Junie, is supposed to be in the announcements of the page. And we also have, what is it? Here. I'm gonna tag you. Let me actually I'll just copy. But we always meet in the same Zoom link. And it's in one of the announcements in the group. So you guys always remember. And we also have a Google Calendar, which you can add yourself to the Google Calendar. Have you guys got the Google Calendar? So June, I just put in the comments in the thing. So you just click on that Zoom link and you can join us. All right. So remember, everyone that is here, do you have the Zoom calendars? If not, we can post again later. But it should be, we'll find. Does everybody here has the Zoom calendar? The Google Calendar, okay. And then we will post again in the group. Thank you for that. And June, coming over to the Zoom, we're waiting for you. And while we wait, who is next?
Hi, Patricia.
Hi.
First of all, I just wanted to say thank you because I'm really, really enjoying the course. And
So happy.
I only just started going out of class now. So I did the first one yesterday and it did go well. So I'm really pleased with it and yeah, really enjoying it. The question I have is, to do with our Akashic healing guides.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a module where we connect with them? How do we connect with them?
So I don't really connect to Akashic healing guides. They are Akashic guides. They help you through the code information that you are receiving from the Akashic records. So when I do healing, I'm not connecting to Akashic healing guides. I'm connecting to my healing guides. So I'm not clear, where is, are you asking how I do the group healings, or is another question? What?
No, it's, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, when I'm getting a healing, so I did with colleagues and they were doing a healing for me and they said my healing guides are next to me. So it's like my own healing guides.
That could be, or it could be that if you're getting a healing with the students from Legacy Accelerator, they got certified as a global healer practitioner. So that could be it. That could be that they were combining doing an Akashic reading with what they learned in Legacy Accelerator in the global healing program. Or it could just be that, there was a message from your Akashic Records guides that your healing guides are around you. And, that's how I would read. But, the Akashic guides, in a way, when you do a gift retrieval, they are doing a healing, right? It's not a healing in the way that traditional healing and the healing that we teach in global healing is facilitator. It's a different, it's more like, it's a mind shift healing, like when you do a gift retrieval, when, the choices that you make and the agreements that you make.
Okay, so if I'm doing a reading for someone else, if I get the guides tell me to call the healing guides for that person, then I can call. So it is like it comes at that instant.
I would say if you do any other form of healing and you know what you're doing, and something like that comes through, is talking through, is speaking to something that you already learned, You know what I mean?
Like,
What we teach in the Akashic certification in this program is, what the guides, the Akashic Records guides will do is what you're learning here, right? So, if someone is mixing with something else, then, that could be where the confusion is coming from.
right.
But I see, like, when you share something that comes through in interaction, that is healing. When the person receives, even just by talking about a memory that comes through, and you are doing a reading, whatever comes through is what needs to be shared, and through voice, that is healing that happens, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
I can go next.
Yes.
I finished module 4 from the relationship. I haven't started the other 4 that are like finding love, but I truly enjoyed it. Giving it to others and also receiving it. I felt like there was so much. There were miracles. There were shifts that I didn't expect. So even for the other person, I've done it for the client. It's like, this happened out of the blue. Like, I don't understand. I'm working years on this and nothing has changed. So I really enjoyed it. I had 2 questions that came out with clients, and I wanted to get your perspective.
Yes.
One of them was when I was describing the guides, I asked them if they resonate with someone they know or maybe they've known in the past. And they said it resonated with someone who was alive. So they asked me if the guides could be someone who's around them or who they believe in, or like a spiritual master, but is still alive, if that could be. How I explain it is like, it's energy. It's not like it is the energy of the person. And so it could happen, or maybe they're bringing that physical aspect to connect with you in a comforting way, or whatever relationship you have with that person. But I wanted to get your guidance of like, what do you think?
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about 2 perspectives. The first is, you don't really need to share how the guides show up to you or get their, I would encourage you not to try to get their feedback on how the
Okay.
guides come to you. For that reason that I was talking to Claudia about, every person will see, if I read your records, your Akashic Records guides, I will perceive your Akashic Records guides through my filter. And then Nicole is going to read your records. She's going to perceive your Akashic Records guides through her filter. Her filter. You see, so one could be red, another one could be blue, and it doesn't mean that one is right or wrong. Person sees through their filter. So when you read and in the training, I believe we went more into how the guides, show up to you when you're looking at your own Akashic records.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're reading a client Akashic records, it doesn't matter how the guides looks like, because that's how they resonate with how they're showing themselves to you and how you are choosing to see them in an unconscious level.
Okay, that makes sense. So I normally, when I have a new client, I do like to describe them because it just feels more comforting for them. But that makes sense. Like in the future, I never describe them normally because they might be the same as the past. They might be different. It might be confusing for them if different guides are showing up to me.
But my suggestion is, if that is important for you, you share, but you don't ask for the feedback. That's how they're showing to me, and that's it.
Okay,
and that is part of, and this is a good exercise for everyone. Like, when you share what comes to you, that's what comes to me. It's a statement. It's not a question. Does that resonate for you? Which I do ask, does it resonate? But that is more to fill in. That is more like, when I see a memory, I would say, does that resonate? It could or not, but I'm not looking for confirmation or for them to relate with it. It's like, I'm just seeing how they are receiving the information.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense. Yeah. The second question was, someone asked me that, so they do energy work too, but they don't do Akashic records. They feel like they're connecting to Akashic records, but they haven't received formal training, and they don't specifically call it Akashic records. So they do have a client, and she was saying, I think it will benefit me as a therapist, if you can connect with her records, and like I can ask you the questions that she's having. So I told her I always need permission from the patient, like from the client. So if they know that another therapist is connecting with their energy, might be okay. But it just felt very confusing because it's like through a middle person.
So let me see if I understand. You
Yeah.
have a client. Your
Mhm.
client wants to ask questions about her clients to
Yes.
you? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
She needs to send her clients to you.
Okay. Yeah, because she was like, I've been working with this client for a while, and I just want to see if you could connect to that energy. And so I was like, I don't know.
Yes, because you're not getting it's you're not getting the client's permission to access the record. So this is like, it's obstruction of privacy without the client, even if the client, it doesn't feel like a clean energy. Now you can partner with this energy healer and give business back and forth, which would be great.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it could be that, you don't even have it could be that you agree with her that each client that she sends to you, you give whatever percentage to her. So she can sell a package of her sessions, including one bonus session, with you, and you can sell a package of sessions that includes one session with her, and mesh that way your clients, and maybe later on even doing something together for fun.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Thank you. Yeah, I was confused. I was like, I need permission from that person. I'm not going to access someone who I don't have
It doesn't feel
exclusive,
right. Yeah.
permission. And so it just, and also I feel like the message you cannot transfer the message the same way. Like if I tell someone and they have to interpret it and send it to someone else. So
that game, do you guys had a game here that a line of people and you say a phrase, and then when it gets to the end, like it's something completely different? It's like, no, it does not feel right. Just be the messenger, and but create some sort of connection. I had so many great connections with different people in my life, like my hairdresser, like we'll be when I was doing massage, so it was more like different yet complementary. So I see that you and her can do something fun together.
I like that. I'll propose that. Thank you. Those are the questions I have.
Beautiful. Who is next? Let me know where you are and what you need support with. How is your experience? If you don't have a question, you can just share your experience where you are. I'm here for you.
Patricia, if nobody is going, I'll go next then.
Yes, hi.
Yes, hi. I have loads of questions actually, so you can shut me up and someone else.
Go for it. So, this is your time.
So first, like in the process of doing a couple of clients one after the other while we're in the records. So like if there's something to do in between, every time we are going back to inside our bubble, and then what happens? Do we do something before going through reading the next key, or
all right? So are you asking specifically about that practice on practitioner model 1, or are you talking about all the other practitioner 2 and beyond? What model are you?
In general, let's say if I'm, because you mean, okay, because like usually I would have the clients with me, so I would do them one at a time. But let's say if I was to go into their records remotely, and I would do a couple one after the other, what would that look like?
Yes. So if you're doing the practice number one for I can't say that word, practitioner one, right? If you're doing that practice, you get the names of 3 people. Just to, if you get the name of 3 people's 3 yeses, you're gonna write their name. And then basically that practice is just the very first practice you're gonna do. You don't need to be doing that again. It's just, that was just for that week practice. So you get the 3 names of people if you wanted to optimize your time. Then you get the key of access, right? So when you're ready to do it in your peaceful space, you're going to read one key of access with the name of the first person. You're going to enter that person's records. You're going to ask them one question. You're going to get the answer. You're going to leave the person's records. Then you're going to go to the next name. You're going to read the key of access with that person's name. You're going to enter the records, get the answer, come back, close the records. Always, that's the process. It's one key of access per person, right? So this is practitioner number 1. From practitioner number 2 and beyond, you are getting live with the person. So you're gonna meet the person, greet the person, tell the person to tune into their intentions while you read the key of access with the name of the person, tune into your focus and start. Right? When you finish, you come out, close the records. Whenever you meet the other person, like right before, you start the same process again. So you always do the process of reading the key of access. Today, that word is not reading the key of access and accessing the records, close the records, and then, so you open the energy. If you find, like, it's always good to, after the reading, do a little running energy if you don't have time for that. Think about 3 things that makes you different than your clients: color of eyes, hair, clothes, color of clothes you wear, something, 3 things, just to separate the energy. If you're doing like really back to back, like, back to back on the Zoom. If you have time in between, do a little running of energy for like 5 minutes, inner fusion running energy of 5 minutes, just to clear energy, call, send back with love all the person's energy from your space and call your energy back to your space.
Okay, great. Also, the next question is, I'm not very clear on the difference between agreement and contract.
Same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's an agreement, it's a contract. The way that I go back and forth in both, for me, it's the same thing.
Okay.
Because an agreement, it's almost like you make an agreement with other person, right? You agree with something. Sometimes that agreement is verbal. A contract also could be verbal, but there is also the part that you do with yourself. So it's like, I see it as the same thing. An agreement or a contract is the same thing.
Okay. But like maybe, so agreement would be more typically with another, and if we agree with ourselves, then we make a contract with ourselves. That would be more
it's like, as I was talking, it's like, I see as the same thing. You can do an agreement. It's almost like agreement. When you look at agreements and contracts, let me know what you guys think. Would you say that agreement is more like a verbal thing and contract more something that you sign your name on it? Could it be?
Yeah.
Right? So, but in both scenarios, you're promising someone something, right? And both parts are in agreement. However, sometimes those agreements are made unconscious. Like, when your mother show to you by her being herself scarcity, you make an unconscious agreement that you're going to honor that scarcity mentality for the rest of your life, or for up until we meet. Or, that could be something like that. You can make a unconscious agreement. So in that perspective, I would say that is agreement, that is not a contract. See, so I would say that is the difference. Could be that agreements are more unconscious. In when you look through the eyes of the Akashic records, and the agreements would be something more unconscious.
That would make sense. Yeah, I like that.
The contract to be a contract, as we are going to marry, a contract, right? Which both can be broken if that is the right action at the time.
Yeah, if it's a contract, we are going to be very well aware when we are making it. When it's an agreement, it could be something we are not
Yes.
realizing we are doing, sort of. Okay.
Yes, and the gift retrieval can break both.
Okay.
Let's look at that way, right? Fuji said, yes, I agree. More unconscious or with self, yes. More formal with someone else, yes.
My next question is, and you tell me if someone else wants to, I can shut up and.
We got time.
Like when you're doing Ho'oponopono 4, because the way I've been using Ho'oponopono for me is very much is like it's only for myself. It's clearing things between situations, but so I'm not very clear on when you're doing Ho'oponopono for someone else. When you say that, what do you mean exactly, or how would that look like? Because I'm still saying the words to myself.
Mm-hmm. So you're asking specifically about the model 3 of practitioner, right? When you take your client to the timeline. So you in that case, you're doing the Ho'oponopono with your clients, right? So when I guide my clients, right, usually I would ask, what is the current situation, right? So let's say the current situation is the person is going through a situation with someone else. Someone else gave their word to do something, to promise something to you, and the person is not honoring the word, let's say, right? Something like that happens. So if you tell me that is what is happening in your life, I would tell the client, close your eyes and tune to how do you feel about the present situation. Notice what you feel in your body. And then maybe the client's going to tune into the body and they're going to feel like their chest, a pressure in their chest, which is anxiety because of the stress of when that is, a conflict, right? So you tell the client, okay, so tune into it. So I would tune into everything around. So if there is a situation like that, usually I'm guided by intuition, but I would say, maybe I will be guided to say, okay, think about the person that did not honor their word with you. Notice how you feel, right? And maybe they're going to be like pissed off, angry. Like repeat the Ho'oponopono thinking of the person until you notice the energy shift. And as they are doing that, I will mentally thinking about, the person that is making them angry. I'm going to do the Ho'oponopono for that person too. Mentally, I'm going to be thinking and repeating for that person. And then I would say, okay, now think about yourself. How do you feel about, maybe you feel betrayed, do you feel angry, you feel small, you feel like you have no power, you have no control, whatever, right? So think about all those feelings and repeat the Ho'oponopono for yourself until you notice the energy shifting. And you do the Ho'oponopono for them. So, if when you listen again when I talk about the Ho'oponopono, and I think I share that story in the video. These like clinical psychiatric doctor, he got hired. I shared that in the video, right?
I think I know the story. Yeah, Dr. Hulen. Yeah.
So he was not doing Ho'oponopono for himself. He was reading the names of the clients, and he was doing the Ho'oponopono for them.
Yeah, that's why I had the question, because I always thought, okay, it's only, it's between me and, so it's just the word doing it for someone else. So like, as in we're not taking responsibility and we're saying the words to the other person instead of to ourselves. That's why I was unsure, when you were.
Well, it's like if I'm doing for, we know what we should do. We should do a group Ho'oponopono. That would be fun.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
I've done that one time. It's very cool. Like I will go into the Akashic our Akashic group, and I'll start a thread, and then every day you go there and you give Ho'oponopono for everybody that is on top of you that you haven't, like do by day. Okay, I'm gonna see everybody that posted yesterday. I'm gonna repeat their name. I'm gonna looking at the name and just repeat. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And then do 3 times for each person, and then go down and just, we can create this for the group. Like we're doing what the doctor was doing for And then you think about everything that is happening. When you're reading your colleagues' Ho'oponopono thread, you just set the intention to bring that Ho'oponopono energy for their life to clear everything that is happening. I will play with you. I definitely need those days. So let's do a Ho'oponopono thread.
That'd be great, and then we can all get out of the hospital.
Yes, or to whatever it is that we are creating this reality, right?
Yeah, no, that's great. Hold on, have more. I'm so sorry. Okay, the forgiveness cleanse, is it just something that you do verbally, or like, as in, is it something that we need to write, or the person, like I gave it to one of my clients already, and she was like, okay, what do I do? Do I write it down? Is it just, or I just say, oh, I wish you such and such verbally, or how does it look like?
So
21 days.
when you're talking about the 21 days forgiveness?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So tell me the situation. What is the situation for you? You're thinking about doing for someone else. What is the situation between you and the person?
No, I used a friend as a
for a client. Okay.
Yeah. And then something came up about forgiveness, and I was like, I suggested she does the 21-day forgiveness cleanse for her dad, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and then I was wondering, okay, what does that look like in practice?
Yes.
Like, is it the forgiveness letter that we write down every day for 21 days what we wish the other person, or we can just say, oh, Mom, I wish you, whatever.
You just say,
like,
what I would say is, like, for 21 days, choose a time of the day that you're going to just take like 5 minutes, and then you think about the person, right? A person that is giving you some sort of trouble, right? So let's say someone hired you and didn't want to pay for the session, for example, right? So you think, you close your eyes, you think about the person, and you say, I wish for Susanna that she wake up feeling good and feeling peace. I wish for
Susanna to pay me.
Not necessarily. I wish for you wishing good things for the person. I wish for Susanna that she receive unexpected money. I wish for Susanna that people that may have not see the value in her work made the decision to send her a gift for something that they forget. Just kind of like so think about good things. Let me give another example. A husband is.
I get the example. It's just that I was wondering, is it a process that we do in writing, just thinking, just
saying,
speaking out loud?
Yes, you speak out loud what you wish for yourself, but you wish for that person.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
Right? So.
But I don't need to write it down.
No. You just wish. And in the beginning, it's a little hard, right?
Yes. I haven't tried it yet, so let's enjoy this. And then I had one connecting to the records for a friend. I've noticed, and I don't know, because when I started the program, I was quite excited because I could really see a lot of things, and it seems to be working well. And as the more I go, and what I experience is that I seem to see less clearly, maybe, but also I sort of drift. So now I end up sort of, I'm not sure, I don't think I'm falling asleep, but I'm going places, I don't know, maybe I'm seeing things, and then I sort of come back to my senses, and 10 minutes has elapsed, or so I'm not sure, am I trying to avoid something subconsciously, or?
So let me see if I understand the question. You're doing a Akashic reading live for someone and you feel like you check out for 10 minutes?
No, in that case, like it wasn't live. I'm using, I have some of my friends who want to be guinea pigs, so like I'm using them to practice just asking one question in the records
Okay.
and then giving that feedback. But
So
then I end up spending a lot, I end up kind of drifting away and
okay.
sort of not being present in the reading, in the records. The best way I would say, yeah, it feels like I'm not able to stay present in the reading. I'm starting to get a visual and then I'm gone.
Okay.
And I come back, maybe I remember, maybe I don't. And
You just basically that exercise for the practitioner model, you just do it one time. It's just to practice that, and then you just even if you check out, you just share what you remember. Like you share the first visual that you got, and that's what you share with them. And just trust that you're getting more information. But what I would say is just do 3 of those and get on the computer or phone with people. Just do the 101 once you get to practitioner 2, right? Just start doing the model that you're talking it's going, and let the session go organic.
And my last question would be, could you give us some clarity on the forms? Like there's an intake form and an integration form. So I'm guessing for our buddies from the class, we only need to give them the integration form to fill in, right?
Yes.
But then for a real client, for our paid clients or the external, from practice clients not from the class, then we should give them both.
Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen because it's going to be easier. Let's go to the share, and share. And we're going to share here. And then I'm going to go in the Zoom and I'm going to share. That way it's easier I want to go in the members area with you. So, all right. So here we are on Teachery. And let's go to where those forms are, which I believe it's practitioner. Oh no, that's Akashic. Practitioner 5 or 6. So we can actually go through the forms. It's easier. Menu 5, get the consultation checklist, sample announcement, letter. So you're talking about this, right? Client intake information and evaluation form. So the client intake information is the first time a client wants to do a session with you. They only gonna fill out the client intake information one time, right? Now, the second form that we have here, the client's evaluation form, is what the client is going to send it to you after every session that they did. So when you exchange with a colleague, it's important that they fill that out to you too. When you give a session to a client, it's important that they give you this evaluation form, because you can use for testimonial. So you can use it for testimonial, your exchange sessions with your colleagues, and I highly recommend that because you're getting session, you're getting value from each other. So this consultation evaluation form is for your clients. So after the session, they fill this out. And this is also for them because they get to integrate the session as they fill this out. Now, the last form so this the client fills out, and then you have your own case study form that you're going to print this and fill this out, or duplicate this in your drive and fill it out in the computer, whatever you wanted to do, right? So after each session you give, you create your case study, because that is going to help you when you start growing your business and, really niching down to what makes your work different. You're going to look at these case studies and you're going to give you clues to to who are you helping, right? Got it?
Okay, so but then my question is that, so this form or this case study, that's interesting. I don't have this one yet, but
It's in
should
practitioner
we-
5 below the video.
yeah, but it's not. So I'm a practitioner 3 or 4. I can't remember.
Don't worry about it yet then. Just when you get to the 5, then you start this. When you're like practitioner 1, 2, 3, and 4, just focus about the homework of that week.
Okay, so for the homework from these weeks, we don't need to actually. We are not going to use these sessions as part of the
No,
tracker form certification thing.
no,
Okay.
because each week of the practitioner from 1 to 4, you're practicing one single thing. You're practicing, and then after week 4, you just make it organic. You combine it all. And that's when you start getting the forms, yes.
Okay, perfect. And the very last thing, again, so I know I wasn't with the person, so maybe that's going to tell me the same answer as my previous question. But I've noticed in one reading that, again, I went to check the records for a friend, and I kept being brought back to my own, to some memories of my own, or like as if my mind was playing out, and I was wondering, does it say something about me that maybe I wasn't in the right space to do the reading, or does it say something, or is it a metaphor also, something that says something about the client, that maybe she's also too much in her head or something like that?
Yeah, could be both. So sometimes sometimes I even when I used to do massage, sometimes before the massage, I would be like having this pain on my neck, and I'm like, and then I'll get like 3 people with neck pain, right? So sometimes you are like even before you meet the clients, you feel like things, or sometimes, like you said, when you're doing a session and then like you feel, some weird energy. Could be you, could be the client, could be a combination of both. But it does happen a lot. That is the client energy. Like if you feel anxious in a session, for example, you never feel anxious, it's coming from the client, and you're just energetically tuning into that. And that's why I teach you how to do the matching pictures, clearing matching pictures as in the middle of the session when you notice that.
That makes sense. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
I'm done, guys. I did it now. Thank you.
Great questions. Who is next?
Yes, I have some questions.
Yes.
I was wondering, when I go into the business records,
Yes.
The business name I have now, I have like years ago. So I was wondering if I go into the business records and it's the same name, or with any other business, do you state when the business started, or when somebody's in front of you and you go into their business records and you say the name, that you automatically go into the right business records?
So when I access the business records, I would ask the person what is the legal name for the business. So, like for example, my business is the Akashic Records Institute, right? So when I access the records of my business, I go to the legal current name for my business, right? If you had, like, I believe you said I had an older business name. So the business that you run now is different than the business name that you had before. Is that what you mean?
No, it's the same as before, but I think there's also a business that also has the same name, but they do something else. So it could be like a business have the same name, but they do totally different things. So when you go into the records, do you state a date just in case there's also another business with the same name?
No,
or
you don't have
is that
to.
not possible?
Because you were the person, you with a person, either you go into your own records or you going for your clients. So somehow they are there in front of you, right? and that's the business that's their business. Even though if someone else
Okay.
could have the same name or the same business, it doesn't matter, because you're tuning into you also tuning into the energy of the person in front of you along with their business.
Okay. Yes, okay, that's clear. With the soul connection, I'm in module 1 from the soul connection. It's when you go back, sometimes something positive comes up, but I think we're looking at the feelings of things that didn't go right. So I was wondering if something positive comes up, do I look for another memory?
No, it's okay. It's
What else comes up?
because it could be that something positive is coming up to bring a different perspective that you need to anchor at that time. It's totally from
Mhm.
whatever comes up. That's good.
Okay. Okay, so I have another question. Say like, and maybe it's also for the Akashic purpose because I did the other part already. But say if you have like an affiliate or somebody who's that helps you with clients, and so what percentage do you give them, or do you sometimes give a gift and sometimes you give a percentage? How do you look at that?
Mm-hmm. So it depends. For example, like in Legacy Accelerator, right? When a student brings a colleague, right? I give them 10% of the investment of, whatever the Legacy Accelerator investment is. Here in the Akashic certification, when a student bring a friend, right? The friend came specifically because of their referral, I also give 10% of the investment. In like in the the abundantly rich, which by the way we have not, I still waiting for Cine to give me everybody's names. So for abundantly rich, they shouldn't get 25%, right? Because it's a smaller program, right? Now when I hire someone to sell my service that I'm already paying them a monthly fee, the percentage is smaller because they are not bringing someone that they know. They are working with the investment that I already did, which is huge on Facebook ads. So what I do, and I literally don't know what the number is right now, but what I do, I have different levels. If the person that works for me bring up to 10 clients, which it's actually the clients I paid for because I invest very high on Facebook ads, they get a percentage regarding that. Because that is based on their conversations, right? If they bring 20 clients, the percentage start growing until 100 clients, right?
Oh,
So I am a person that I like to have a carrot in front of me so I can work. And so I do the same for the people that work for me. The more they put in, the more they're going to get. So that's kind of like how I do. But now, if you're are you paying someone a salary, or are you just paying if they bring someone? What is the connection there?
No, I'm not paying somebody a salary, but I had two people in mind that knows other people also. So I thought, what can I offer them, if they would bring in a client that really paid.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to just, because it would be more interesting for them to make the conversation because they're gonna get paid. Because because I noticed if they're not getting something out of it, it's like, it's not in their advantage to do it.
Yes. So with colleagues, it's with colleagues, if someone is a colleague of mine, it's pretty much case by case. It will depend of how much I know the opportunities that I had that I really gave it all were opportunities where I had the first one was like one of my coaches. She said anyone, like there will be a competition, and the three people that bring the most referrals will get 5 minutes of speaking on my stage. And at that time, I have never spoken on a stage, and I'm like, "Ooh, I'm gonna do this." So I went all in, and I got the 5 minutes on the stage. So so that is, that is going to depend of what is in for that person. And so if it's pretty much, you can do something that, if it's a client of yours, one thing that works really well is refer a client and get a percentage off your next service. You can give like 25% for each client that your clients bring, which is the best referral, right? And then, or say, you give a complimentary session every time they bring 4 clients. That could also be, there is something that goes really well. I used to do that a lot with massage. And then you can also say, if they buy 5 gift certificates, they get, 4 gift certificates, they get a free session. Think about, Christmas and Black Friday kind of thing, that's great promotions to send to your list. Like, buy 4 gift certificates and you get yourself a private session.
Okay.
And with colleagues could be like they do a Facebook Live with you, you do a Facebook Live with them. You can also do things like that, where sometimes I do like that. There is nothing, I'll bring them in or they will bring me in, and then we do that energetic exchange. Or if, they can bring people in and they get a percentage.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And if anyone want to learn more about referral with us for Legacy Accelerator or the Akashic certification, just send me a message. Who else wants to be next? So this thing's popping in my screen. Any more questions, or everyone feels complete? Very nice.
Feeling good now, Patricia. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So let's start playing with our Ho'oponopono. Let's start playing with the Ho'oponopono. I'm gonna go right in the group, and you just write your name, and then everybody that will come in will repeat the Ho'oponopono. Because today is the first day, those of you that are the first ones, just go back at the end of the day and then do the Ho'oponopono for everyone. So basically what it is you put your name and say, I receive. I think it would be really good is that if we set an intention for this week, and you say, what are you willing to receive? Does that make sense for everyone? Can everyone think about something? When you think, in thinking about receiving the Ho'oponopono. So let's say you're stressed out at work and you say, I receive Ho'oponopono for the solution to show up. Right? If you're in doubt about something, or if you're looking for be hired by a company. So I receive, I'm open to receive the perfect opportunity for my work. Or does that make sense? So just say your name and state what you desire. And then, and you can say in the same, if as tomorrow goes on, then after you can say, I've done the Ho'oponopono for the 10 people above me, or how many people above you did that day. So you just do the Ho'oponopono person by person. Sounds good? And that way, when you're doing the Ho'oponopono for the person, you're thinking about the person's situation, right? So you can just say, a little bit of what's happening. And when everyone is doing the Ho'oponopono for you, they can think about you and the situation and do the Ho'oponopono with love. And then the next person, the same thing. I think this will be fun. I'm in. I'm playing. All right. Very cool. Very cool. All right. So let's go to the Facebook group and let's start right away. Sounds good. Have a beautiful, beautiful week, guys. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye, everybody.
Bye.